get started, does anyone want to get out?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the Friday Night Frenzy. Joining me is the usual members of the DK crew. Jared from Comics League.
Ho, 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 Disney sucks.
That's giving a bit ahead of ourselves. And looking mighty festive this week is our Destroyer of Worlds. You're not Kamen Rider Decade, Nyx.
So
Nyx has no idea what
was it. So Nyx was essentially spending Christmas with the Joker.
I mean, she does have the Harley Quinn PSP.
Exactly.
And last and certainly not least, he ranks below me but above Jared is Chris.
Hey, how's it going?
See, I'm just inciting conflict here. It's not
You
the
do
holidays,
realize,
not conflict.
Nick, that when it comes to Comics League,
You
Whoa!
do realize, Jared, I can do this, by the way.
Oh my god!
See,
Round
that's what
two.
we call a power move, which I am totally going to pay for on CLD tonight. But
Yes.
I'm already ideating a bunch of new intros for you.
We just saw the Grinch grin.
you're a mean one.
You know how my heart, you know how the Grinch's heart grows 3 sizes too large? Mine just shrunk 3 sizes too small.
So anyway, we're going to start out with some many topics here. First one is a very easy target. Hey, look,
God.
how you doing?
Look at where his hands are. That's like a colonoscopy done the hard way.
It's the X-colonoscopy.
So my reaction to this can only be explained like as such.
What?
What the frack were they thinking?
Because here's the thing. I'm pretty sure that... and actually, one of the people in Nick's group chat actually summarizes this up. It's not that hard to see what childbirth looks like.
Yeah, she's still wearing pants. I mean,
Yeah, I'm like, what? She's not. The funny part is that it'd be one thing if she was just laying on her stomach. No, she's sitting on her legs. He's trying to shove the baby back in.
Oh my god!
he's knocking on her back door. Is that what we're
like supposedly Marvel Comics is full of women in the office. Could a woman just like walk past the door, just take a look at like, that's not how childbirth is done. Like, supposed to be a ton of women walking around the office. Like, did not one of them take a look at this and be like,
wrong hole?
Yeah,
Put it back through the drawing board, folks.
Yeah. You know what's kind of funny, Nick? The retcon itself was like useless, but when they cap it with this is what I love about Marvel, is that when they try and be progressive, if you wait a second, they will find some way to screw it up.
Yeah, this isn't half-assed. This is whole-assed.
never go half-ass. Always go.
Oh man, Nick, Chris is taking up your thunder as the pun king.
Oh no!
I mean, why do I rank him higher than you? So.
Oh shit!
Jared, you set me up. You set me up for that one.
Oh my god, I feel like an only child in a divorce hearing.
Hey, you enjoy your 3 PS5s, okay?
Why do you need 3 PS5?
No games.
Because I'm trying to buy Chris's loyalty in the divorce. I don't know how to be a good father. All I know how to do is spend money.
Okay, that
Oh my
works.
God.
Honestly. That's a good way to be a good father. Just spend money on me.
All right. So, Nyx, as a lady of the group, what is your thoughts on this?
Is this on the level of Avengers 200?
Oh god. See, I actually was present for, not very long, but I was present for at least a little bit of my first niece's birth. So I
Oh.
got to see, not a whole ton, but I can definitely say, one, her mother was not encouraged to I guess sit on her knees. They had her basically lying down. As
I mean, the
you
legs
would.
are usually like this, so
Yeah.
I would
And
demonstrate it
two,
with my legs, but I don't
she
think people want to see me in that position.
Oh my gosh.
she was definitely not wearing pants
Yeah.
Okay, Nick.
for
I
that.
have to share this. This is
All right.
someone made the best pun of this on Twitter. Share my screen. Blue 42, Blue 42.
What?
It's perfect.
Oh my god.
More like a football being snapped.
I just need to know, how do you screw something like this up that badly, though? Like,
Well, the thing
I know.
Nix, here's the problem. The person who wrote this is an idiot. So speaking of
true.
idiots,
Yeah.
we're changing topics now. All right, let's roll that beautiful footage.
All right. So Dave Filoni. Oh my gosh. He said so Nick, briefly to give context, summarize the relevant issue you had with Ahsoka.
It sucked.
No, I mean that applies to this.
The idea is basically the same thing that Rian Johnson was trying to push. Was the whole anyone can be a Jedi. Thank you, Cool Tom Job. I respect you.
Well,
So
they just blasted the retcon of Rogue One because Donnie Yen's character wanted to be a Jedi. He was very religious in the Jedi like the dogma or whatever, but because he wasn't Force sensitive, he couldn't be a Jedi.
Well, the problem is, if you watch the movie, he's very clearly at least mildly Force sensitive.
Yeah,
But I don't think he was Force sensitive enough. Because
exactly.
he's very clearly Force sensitive. I think he was using the Force as a bit of a compensation for his blindness. Because I'm sorry, not even Daredevil could move that well.
A bunch of Jedi have in the past been able to see through the Force. I mean, Kanan learned how to do it. But so what Filoni said is, I'm sure he was responding to that criticism, Nick, and yes, obviously yes. That seems like an idea that would come out of Grant Morrison. But so Dave Filoni says anyone can become a Jedi with enough training. If you pay attention to the films, you understand that the Force is an energy field created by all living things, but it takes time and commitment. Nick, rebuttal.
Bull fucking shit.
Okay.
I'm gonna do kind of like a more of a meta. And I'm gonna do kind of all right, so and so I'm gonna do kind of like a meta. This is not gonna be using it's not gonna be
Florians. Thank you.
I'm just put it. All right, I got a face clip.
I'll sell my invention so that everyone can be superheroes. Everyone can be super. And when everyone's super, no one will be.
You
Game, set, and match.
communism.
See, that's a problem. Is being a Jedi is supposed to be special. It's supposed to be someone who is special. And if anyone can train to be a Jedi, then it removes its specialness.
Yep.
And if it's that is the argument that I kept using against all the people on Twitter. When everyone is a Jedi, no one will be.
Yeah. Well, do you remember Star Wars Galaxies, the MMO?
Yes. Tell that I gotta answer this.
All right. Yeah. So when Star Wars Galaxy, the MMO, first came out, nobody was a Jedi. In fact, it was nearly impossible for your character to progress through all the different stuff needed to get your character to become one. So when you saw a Jedi out in the world, it was like a big deal. It's like, holy crap, look at that. That's a Jedi. But then the players complained and they're like, I want to be the guy with the rainbow lightsabers and blah, 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 blah. So they revamped it and had like a revision of the game, kind of like how Final Fantasy 15 or whatever, or 14, one of those MMOs, like basically had the Realm Reborn. Well, so what they did was they made it so that you could be a Jedi from the onset. So it went from a game of bounty hunters and smugglers and all these other things to everybody being a Jedi, and it looked like a giant neon sign just ejaculated all over the MMO.
And it literally killed the game.
Yep.
Yeah, the new game experience. And yeah, like there's like the YouTube videos. Thing is, like, being a Jedi was like really freaking hard, and it was
Yep.
special. And it was crazy because like the thing is, Star Wars Galaxies is a pre-World of Warcraft MMO. Star Wars Galaxies is more akin to EverQuest than it is World of Warcraft. And when everyone could become a Jedi, it just killed the interest of the game.
Yep.
You know?
It's like God mode, when you get the cheats on a shooter.
And
It's boring.
yeah, and to that point, when we were talking about how we would fix Star Wars on my show, one of the things I said is that my favorite Star Wars characters were like the clones and the bounty hunters, because I think the Force is a crutch at this point. I like the guys that have to accomplish a task by their own skill.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I like the world, the universe that Star Wars set up. And I think The Mandalorian, the first season, was a beautiful exploration into that non-Jedi, view of that universe. And I loved it.
They couldn't help themselves.
Exactly.
At least season 3 didn't really go hard into the Jedi part.
Yeah, just the girl boss stuff.
Just the girl boss stuff.
I have to say, though, if there is one good thing about The Force Awakens, it is this clip.
Oh, you Force? That's not how the Force works.
I'm sorry,
Nick. That is the perfect clip to play for this mini topic. Oh my gosh.
See, the thing is, Dave Filoni gets propped up onto this pedestal as like the second coming of George Lucas, but it's clear every time he opens his mouth, he just completely misunderstands what George Lucas was doing. Star Wars is many things. Obviously, like Vietnam was a huge influence on Star Wars. Classic serials, and Jedi are basically space samurai. That's what they are. And not everyone could be a samurai. It's like they are space samurai, kind of things. And it's just like I just think Dave Filoni just completely and the dangerous thing about him is he speaks in a way that makes him sound competent.
Yeah. And
the problem with Dave Filoni, and we're seeing this, is Dave Filoni has the same problem that James Gunn has. He's bringing over his favorites. He's not making decisions based off of what he thinks will sell. He makes decisions on what he wants to see. So with Dave Filoni in charge, it's like, oh, we're getting Rebels live action. Oh, we're bringing over all the Rebels characters. Don't you love the Rebels?
And a major reason why Ahsoka was not the big hit is because people are like, I have to watch an entire cartoon show to understand who these people are.
Yeah, homework.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And they also it's like Dave Filoni completely misunderstood his own characters. Supposedly the meeting between Ezra and Sabine was very milquetoast. Like, come on.
Yeah, it was. They just show up and go, oh, hey.
And then the thing is, I look at these characters and these actors portraying them. They just feel very wooden. I get it. It's live action to a cartoon, but it seems like all the characters are just devoid of personality.
Except for Hayden Christensen.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens when you.
I'm gonna tell you that was absolutely the best part of Ahsoka right there. Is that part where it's live action Clone Wars.
I will say the one criticism I have for Hayden Christensen is he doesn't seem to have the energy he used to. I mean,
because he's trying to play a older Anakin, though.
Yeah.
Well, no, even with for example, the Clone Wars clips, where it's supposed to be him, in episode 2.5, he just doesn't have even when he did flashback clips, like when the ones you saw in Obi-Wan. Also in Obi-Wan, why the frick didn't you de-age him? You have the technology.
Yeah. He didn't even have the scar he had at that point on his eye. So I'm like, what? But the point is, I'm trying to be a little positive on stuff, but that's not how birthday works. Excellent. That's what's called a hashtag full circle, Nick. But
exactly.
But the thing is, here's the thing. Dave Filoni got this like legitimacy in the eyes of fans because he was instructed at the feet of George Lucas, and honestly, for like a good portion of like for like a long time, he was seen as like the savior of Star Wars. And I think it was Mando season 3 where people were starting to see, wait a minute here.
See, Filoni is one of those characters is when he has someone reining him in, whether it be George Lucas or Jon Favreau, he does good work. But when you take the leash off, he's kind of a bit of a hack. Because remember, Clone Wars was done under the boot of George Lucas. Rebels was done under the boot of Disney. Like this is when like early on the Disney regime, so they were like really like they weren't giving anyone leeway. And then with Mandalorian, that was more Jon Favreau's show before Dave Filoni pretty much took it over. Like, because if you notice, season 1 is very Jon Favreau centric. Season 2, Dave Filoni started getting influence and started getting all those cameos. And then season 3, where Jon Favreau is very clearly not even there anymore, that's when it goes off the rails.
Yeah. Well, I think it shows a divide between old school storytellers and new story. Like there is a clear distinction that I would say that is probably like the end of an epoch around like 2010.
Well,
and then everything from that.
What the thing is, you got to look at where these storytellers are getting their influences from. So, like characters like Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, they were influenced by classical gods like Hercules, like stuff like that. You're getting kind of like an inbredness where it's like the influences get narrower and narrower and narrower.
Yep.
We're like, oh, we're influenced off of Batman. We're influenced off this particular version of Batman, and it's just like as people kind of go on and their stories, and they don't like. This is why throughout all of like for thousands of years, we had our classical training and teaching was we went back to the source. We were taught the Greek stories. We were taught the Greek and the Roman stories for thousands of years. Remember, Greece was like what 2,000, 3,000 years ago. And they were taught in schools for thousands of years.
And you should know because you were there.
Oh no!
Oh damn!
I'm just gonna say this: Plato was a mean drunk.
Yeah. It just like.
And I may or may not have been one of the people that stabbed Julius Caesar in the back.
A2 Nikkei?
A2 Nikkei? A2 Phoenix?
Yeah.
Well, here's how I did it.
Yeah, exactly. What actually happened is that the story is that they were going to execute Nick by making him drink the hemlock, but it ended up giving him eternal life.
Yeah, don't. Yeah. Well, like look at the writers of old though. When you look at like American writers like Hemingway and stuff, or even Tolkien, you go into the British stuff. Like they're writing off of life experience.
Yeah.
These new guys don't have any experience. They're just writing off of somebody else's written like media.
Yeah, and that's kind of the problem is this is why the whole touch grass phrasing is so like that's why we keep saying that to people. Is people like they need to touch grass. They need to get out there, have some life experiences, do some stuff. People don't get out as much as they used to. And it's really harming them because what gives a writer their unique voice is their life experiences. The stuff that like oh, I had a bratty sister, and oh, I made a story about like, for example, in Arthur, the cartoon, DW is based off of the author's sister.
And the other thing I wanted to
You
bring
can tell.
The other thing I wanted to bring up about the whole life experiences thing is like take a writer like Tolkien who based a lot of Lord of the Rings off his experience in World War I. You do have some writers that try and write off personal experiences with like everyone trying to gender bend characters and stuff. But the difference is Tolkien took like the basic like war is bad storyline
Mhm.
and turned it into and changed it enough that it didn't feel like he was banging you over the
wanna
head with
know-
it.
Yeah. No
okay,
sermon.
so Jared, I don't think you give Tolkien enough justice. Tolkien was writing the Silmarillion literally in the trenches of World War One. Like
Yep.
bombs were going off,
Yeah.
artillery was going off as he was writing the Silmarillion. Like literally, the Silmarillion was literally forged in the fires of World War One.
Yeah,
Literally.
coping
So it was forged in
mechanism.
the fires of Mordor, is what you're telling
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, but like it all goes back to my philosophy too, that like great art requires suffering. And a lot of these like people don't have any hardships in their lives. So you're not like, have you ever noticed that like the good material in musicians is generally when they're young and struggling, and then
Yeah.
they sell
Yeah.
out and their music just goes to crap.
And
Well,
then like or like when you have an artist who goes through their drug episode and they get clean and they're trying to do the comeback, all of a
Yep.
sudden their stuff's good again because they got that hunger again.
Exactly.
You know, they're trying to get back, and then yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But hey Keely, we're talking about how
Hey.
we were supposed to talk about how Dave Filoni was an idiot, but we as usual.
Same thing. If you want to talk about,
I mean-
if you want to talk about another idiot, we have another idiot topic.
Oh, you mean like? Sorry, Jared gave me the best thing. So, Jared, could you pull up the article, please?
Yes. All right. So Disney has gone through some stuff recently.
That would be
Downplay.
So the Marvels came out and turned into a big steaming turd. Let me put it that way. I still haven't watched the movie, and I'm probably not going to until it comes out on Disney Plus because it's not worth a trip to the movie theater. But anyway, so Bob Iger was trying to address this controversy. By the way, he's turned into the James Gunn of Disney, and that he has to shut up about stuff because he keeps making it worse. So what he said is, here's the funny part. So what he said is Disney CEO says the Marvels flopped at the box office because lack of supervision on the set. And here's my rebuttal to that. I present to you Exhibit A, Justice League.
Yep.
Oh,
So, do you want to hear a story about why this is such a bad idea? All right. So, Fox was notorious for intervening in a lot of the X-Men films. Tom Rothman, F you. And so there's a story for X-Men Origins Wolverine. It's the scene where Wolverine gets his adamantium skeleton. So Gavin Hood, the director, had it painted to be more grungy and dark.
Mhm.
And Tom Rothman appeared on set and wanted it changed for color. So they lured Gavin Hood off the set with like a fax or phone call. And while he was gone, Tom Rothman had them repaint the set. That's why in X-Men Origins, it looks really stupid, like the bright blues.
Didn't they? Yes, exactly. Thank you, Chris. But the thing about it is that here's the thing, and I'm going back to Justice League because remember, what's the more popular cut of Justice League? The one that has the least studio interference.
Yep. The singular vision.
You think somehow more studio interference could fix that? Maybe she's just an unlikable character. Did you ever think of that? Maybe you're making movies about characters that have failed repeatedly in running their own comic book.
Well, Bob
Yeah.
actually went on record and told all of Disney shareholders that are losing money over these bombs that propaganda is more important than good storytelling. He literally, like, he doesn't care that these are unlikable characters or that they're bad. It's the message that's more important.
And the funny part is that then he followed that up, I think, because another quote came on after that where he said, "Yeah, we lost track of of what makes Disney. Having we can't prioritize the message over entertainment."
Yeah.
So he
And that's all
probably
they've
got.
done.
Yeah, he probably got told by the shareholders, yeah, reverse that, or we're taking our cash and leaving.
Yep.
Yeah.
well, did anyone else hear about how bad Disney's 100th anniversary film did? I can't call it film actually,
Which?
sorry, just movie. film would be implying it's high art. It is not.
Oh no.
Mm.
Well, I heard
How
they
is
lost 23 million Disney Plus subscribers in like 2 days.
Yeah, because the whole
Ooh.
Elon Musk thing, which by the way was hilarious. But my point is, it was kind of funny with Disney. I said this when I watched the Elon Musk clip. Disney has the worst record of going up against a larger organization. They are 0-2.
Yeah.
You really think that's going to work out for you again?
Well, they tried to blackmail the dude, and I gotta hand it to Elon, man. He had the perfect comeback. Oh, hi, Bob.
I did not hit him. I did not hit him. No, I did not. Oh, hi, Bob.
Oh, and Keeley, Justice League is on the flicks, probably soon to be followed by the Snyder Cut.
Oof.
That's the joke.
Yeah, I know.
The funny thing is that Wish, that's the movie they put out for their 100th anniversary. I feel like if you've been on Twitter long enough, you've heard all about it and how stupid its message is. But the sad thing is that it lost out to an Adam Sandler's animated movie.
I mean, have you seen what was it, 40 Days, 40 Nights?
Oh God.
I from what I hear, that's actually a pretty legit Christmas film. You suck, McBain.
Yeah. The thing about Disney is I feel like eventually it's going to because I feel like eventually they're going to kick out Iger because it's going to be like, you and JPEG made bad situations worse.
Well, and here's the thing. Like, it's clear they're already starting to feel the pitch. It's very clear because they wouldn't make these are not the words and the actions of a company who is doing well. And it's like Bob Iger already saw the writing on the wall when he left at the beginning of COVID. Okay. And like him trying to blame stuff on Chapek really did. He had like less than 2 years, barely any time to do anything. And like he was saddled with all those bad decisions. See, Bob Iger massively overpaid for Fox, massively.
And it's a project that he has yet to properly utilize.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, like, okay, he's got the rights to the Fox catalog, 20th Century Fox. I mean, the Fox acquisition is way more than X-Men. In fact, I would say X-Men is more of a side bonus to that whole deal. And like the streaming wars is not playing out the way they thought it would.
No, everybody's losing the streaming wars.
Yeah, like we're gonna see a consolidation here soon. Honestly, we're already starting to see it. Like WB is already throwing in the towel. Jared, can you tell us what films have been hitting Netflix recently?
And by the way, that's the perfect segue to something that I just saw. All right,
share it, brother.
So it came out. So first off, every DCEU movie is going to Netflix. But the thing is, so do you guys know who? Okay, so Scott Stuber is one of the heads at Netflix, and he was asked about the sell hashtag.
Oh dear God!
So he said, "We'd love to wait. Hang on." We'd love to have it on so fans can experience more Zach. The more Zach we have, the better we are.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Oh
so my point.
God.
So my thing with that is that WB, because here's the thing about WB, because when Max came out, let me put it this way. The reason why the Snyder Cut got released because they needed something to bring people to Max. That happened. Then people were like, okay, how about more? You can put it on Max and make it the Max universe.
Let's be clear. The Snyder Cut call was made by AT&T.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers was hugely against it. They fought tooth and nail, and even when it did premiere, and even when it did be successful, they were still trying to downplay it.
Yeah, but the thing about it that was really interesting that's a botnik. The thing about it that was interesting is so again, they had people calling for it.
How do I ban it?
I'll do it in a second. The people
Okay.
they had. Okay, well, let me see. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, they had the opportunity to really, because if they had done, okay, keep your movies going the way it is, but release all the Snyder stuff on Max, because that way, guess what? You don't have to worry about a time about how long a movie is, because it's streaming. They said no, we're not gonna do that, and then they kept taking stuff that was intended for streaming and putting it on in as movies, which is like, for example, Batgirl was going to be, but I think it started off as a streaming movie.
Well, also WB made a really poor decision during the pandemic to have movies come out day and date on streaming and on the movies. I mean, I know Disney did that, but WB really damaged some relationships. Like the Christopher Nolan relationship was very damaged with that.
And you know, it's bad when the most type of director of the time, Zack Snyder, signs an exclusive deal with Netflix. By the way, did you know he pitched Rebel Moon to Warner Brothers 3 times?
Wow.
And they could have had that. This is my problem with Warner Brothers. And this is why I am not like, oh my gosh, DC is safe with James Gunn. Because to the point, recently, Zaslav pulled a James Gunn written and directed Looney Tunes movie, and then they said, no, we're just going to shop it to other streaming services.
Oh my God!
Well, the thing with that movie was he also, you notice how he removed all the Looney Tunes content from HBO Max. Like, where's the licensing?
No. They clarified that was an error.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
Error in course.
Yeah, like. No, it wasn't an error. They did that. They got the heat, and then they reversed it, saying, "Oh, sorry, it's an error." Like, how many times have we seen that where it's like, "Oh, this feature that we have that is very obviously had to be coded in and tested for months. Oh, sorry, that was an error."
But my point is, like, Warner Brothers has the tools. They own arguably the most recognizable characters of all time.
Yep.
Okay, counterpoint. They own the second most valuable catalog of IP.
I said most iconic and recognizable, Nick. I didn't say profitable.
No, I'm saying recognizable, because Disney is objectively more recognizable than Warner Brothers. Mickey Mouse.
Mario.
The point is,
Mario is really the only. Like, yes, you could argue that Mario is more recognizable than Mickey Mouse, but that's not Warner Brothers, you know. And yes,
I didn't say a WB.
No.
My point is, they have no excuse for what they're going through. It's not like they have. It's not like they're stuck with IP that no one knows.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have instant recognition.
Jared, meet me in the middle. They have one of the most recognizable catalogs.
Fine, so we can move on from this. Yes, my point is, that wasn't my point, Nick. My point was, they have no reason to be struggling because they have Superman, and Batman. Those two alone.
Superman, Batman, Scooby-Doo.
Wait, Batman holds up the entire freaking comic book industry.
But I just want to go beyond like DC Comics. They also have Scooby-Doo, Bugs Bunny.
You know,
do
they have Paramount?
Peacemaker. I'm only kidding.
Does
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, is WB? Does that have Paramount as well, or is that a separate?
Paramount is Paramount is separate. They're kind of like CBS and Paramount. While they're two separate studios, they're still kind of like CBS. There's this whole like thing. I think they're merged now. So
yeah, the CW.
No. Around the pandemic, okay, that's a whole separate issue. I don't want.
Okay, sorry.
It's a whole thing.
The other point too is that, remember, Warner Brothers is possibly up for sale next year to Universal. So
oof.
that's why I think a lot of the executives in here that we're seeing now, like James Gunn, are probably not going to be around if that sale goes through.
Yeah. The thing is, while Universal or Paramount is the most likely candidate, we also have to understand someone like Apple or Amazon could buy it as well.
Yep. That's
Well,
a high
yeah.
likelihood.
My point is, if that happens, I guarantee. Here's my prediction: if that happens, and then I promise we can move to our main topic. When WB is sold, I think that whoever comes in is going to tell DC, "You're doing solo movies now. We can't get this to work."
See, okay. Now I actually thought about it for a second, and while I think Jeff Bezos would love to own Warner Brothers, like have the rights to Superman, I don't think he'll be allowed to because he's already bought MGM.
Yeah, you have to think about which one is the least likely of being seen as a monopoly.
I don't want Apple to.
Well, yeah, I don't.
Sorry.
Apple would really only be interested in. Well, I could maybe see I don't know, I could see them digitally exclusive to the Apple Store, like DC Comics.
Apple
but
TV
I
only.
think Apple would only really be interested in the media, like the movie side of Warner Brothers. I don't think they want to get saddled with the comic stuff.
No.
Not.
What they would likely do is license out the comics to Image.
No, dude, what they would do is, because Apple is extremely predatory, what they would do is they would lock everything behind their Apple ecosystem. And if you wanted to watch Marvel or WB shows, it's exclusively on Apple TV. You want to play Marvel-inspired video games, like a new Batman gamer, only on the iPhone. That's the garbage that Apple would do.
Or imagine Mortal Kombat exclusive to Apple Arcade.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. But it'd be hilarious if they go with my licensed IPs out. Wouldn't it be hilarious if they go to a Ghost Machine, which is made up of all of the most legendary DC creators, and said, "Hey, less oversight. You guys get to run everything."
I would argue Universal is probably the best place to end up with Warner Brothers because they have the most experience with licensing. Because remember, they run the parks, and they would love to have exclusive rights to DC Comics for the universe.
I'm going there day one.
No, imagine because Universal Parks are literally kicking Disney's butt. Imagine a Metropolis or a Gotham,
an entire DC world, man. Dude, if that happens, I am sleeping out front until it opens, and I am going to start a hashtag that I'm going to do on all my live streams called "Suck It, Disney."
And it's not like DC Comics doesn't already have a standing relationship with Universal Parks.
Well, yeah. Doesn't DC have exclusive ownership of the term superhero?
No, Marvel and DC share that copyright. Last I heard.
Okay, because they could totally do a superhero tours. You start off in Star City. You take the Flash speed rail into Gotham. You go through the Batcave ride, and then you go up to Metropolis, fly above the city.
That would be a
but no. Imagine this. You know how the Hogsmeade or Diagon Alley is really immersive worlds.
Yes.
Imagine they did that for Gotham.
Yes.
All of a sudden, the Joker could pop out and scare you, and all of a sudden, Batman would come in.
Yeah.
And
those King Kong rides.
Okay, you know how they have Disney Soarin'? Imagine you're riding on
a Justice League Javelin. Wait, Nick. It's the Star Tours ride, but it's Green Lantern.
Oh!
No. Actually, the Javelin idea. But no, it's themed to Justice League Unlimited.
As it's flying, you hear da-na-na.
Dude, they do the thing with the mother boxes, and you go into Themyscira to get one. You go to all these different little points in the DC.
They have a Snyder World.
Yes!
That's what I would do.
Going through the portals to the... Yeah, oh my god, I'm not even a huge
by the way, the weenie, it would be the Hall of Justice.
Yes.
Oh yeah. And what they could do, what would also be kind of cool, going off of your idea, Chris, is they have a long ride that goes through all of the areas.
Yes.
And it basically is like a tour of DC, kind of like what's that the ride in Epcot that's in the giant golf ball?
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Kind of like that, but it's here's Themyscira, and then it's actually in some parts it goes in this little TV tube, and then you see like Superman and the Justice League flying. They could do like the Buzz Lightyear ride at Disney. Everyone gets a Green Lantern ring and they have to shoot targets.
Oh no! It's a Buzz Lightyear ride, but you have batarangs.
Hey! One of those.
Literally,
wait.
Like a wrist thing where you have to throw it. You have to throw the batarangs like.
You know those Halloween horror like haunted house things where like you're walking through them and people jump out and stuff. Arkham Asylum.
Yes.
Oh, wait! I had to do this. Duck.
Yeah, there you go. No, I'm telling you, that would be freaking dope. And they could have all the shows, and they could you know how like that they have like that Indiana Jones show at Disney. They could reenact portions from like favorite DC movies.
No. The stage show is Adam West Batman.
Yes.
Because
No,
like,
did you imagine?
Like that would be a perfect stage show.
Dude, I can guarantee you will get the adult male demographic going to these parks more if they had, you know how they have the personalities like Mickey Mouse and Goofy walking around? They got a Harley Quinn that you can take a picture with, and all the talent has got the accent.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Dude, I'm telling you, if Universal has the if they buy DC and they form a DC park, this is the kick in the ball to Disney.
Yep.
Like imagine like
in the nuts.
Like you can get a picture with Superman's just walking around in the bunker.
Yeah, they could even do Superman shows where they got a dude that like he's on a wire or whatever and he flies away or what. Like kids would shit themselves.
I just hope that a kid doesn't come up with there with a gun and try.
Oh, you saw that? Yeah, Ben Affleck there. Put down the gun.
No, Chris. You realize that actually happened, right?
Yeah, that was a real thing. Yeah, they actually tried to test, was it George Reeves or whatever?
Oh, jeez. Oh, yeah. It bogs my mind how they launched the D. That's the other thing. They launched They have their streaming service, which was the DC thing. The problem with that is that they didn't. Is that a lot of the shows that people were hyped for, like Swamp Thing, they canceled it before the show even started.
That was stupid.
I'm like,
oh my god!
Clear,
yes.
Okay. Yes.
If they did a Toonami theme park, by the way, okay, so it's indoors and you're on like the spaceship, and like Tom was walking around, that would capture the 30 to 40-year-old crowd perfectly.
I'm telling you,
yes.
Universal has a potential gold mine in their hands.
Wait. So also, they're gonna like basically this is where like they take like a bunch of like random IPs that are associated with Toonami, like a DBZ ride.
Yes.
Oh jeez.
There's a Gundam ride.
Yes.
What were some other like classic Toonami shows?
Transformers Armada.
Transformers.
He-Man.
Oh, Megas XL.
Yes.
Oh my god. See, this would really be a wonderful.
And here's what they could do. They could, if they want to like hype up a movie or anything like that, they could have like the crew come on and do like panels at the DC park.
Yeah, like a Comic-Con style thing.
Yeah, they could do essentially DC Fandom, but in person.
Yep.
See, so Jared, that would really be quite the wonderful time. Speaking of the most wonderful time,
what I would do real quick, I would go
our
to the Superman and Wonder Woman person and say, I will pay you whatever I have to pay you for you to kiss. Just like to rub it in Nick's face. And then I would go, okay, so Batgirl and Nightwing, you two as well, whatever you name your price. And then say, shout out to the Phoenix Press.
Fuck off, Claude.
Oh my god. So, all right. So this is why I gathered here today. So last week we talked about the negatives of Christmas. Let's talk about the positive aspects, like the good stuff. We're not going to be getting into nostalgia stuff. That's going to be either next week or the week after that. So positive, like what are some of your guys' favorite aspects of Christmas?
Capitalism.
Jared, you are not talking first. Nick, go ahead.
Oh, me. Oh, yay. I like the music. I like the shows, the specials that come on. Yeah, I unironically love Rake and Bath.
Nice.
Christmas specials. Everyone's like,
Me too.
oh, people just like those because they're like nostalgic and blah blah blah. No, I genuinely think they're good.
Happy birthday!
Yeah.
I will.
No
I
joke.
will cheer
My
when they
dad
come on.
My dad is like a huge fan of Frosty the Snowman.
Yeah.
Get like, and we're talking like the classic one.
Yeah.
He should
the
cosplay as Frosty the Snowman.
No.
I could see that.
Chris, what are some of your favorite aspects?
I don't know if this is much of a like. I don't know if this veers into nostalgia or anything, but like how Nick's was mentioning, like the aesthetic. Like I love that, but I also love because Christmas, in my opinion, is more of a kids' holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love seeing kids that get excited about something that you know is bullshit. Like as adults, like we've already had the weight of the world crush us, so nothing really makes us like happy like that anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
But
wait.
Snyderverse does for me.
Wait, so you're telling me that Santa isn't real?
but like seeing kids...
wait. Are you telling me that Santa isn't real? Is it like Santa Claus isn't real? Please tell me. Am I wrong?
He's not real. But like
You lie.
but
Nick,
I did that
Nick,
to a
you know
group
who
of
else isn't
5-year-olds
real?
when I was
You know who else isn't real? The Easter Bunny.
a kid. And the Tooth Fairy. No.
Yeah. Of course it's not. Of course it's not real. I had it for dinner last night.
No, but like I actually learned a really valuable life lesson
Hey,
when I was-
movie theater geek, how you doing?
when I was 5 years old. I was in a daycare center, and they did the Christmas thing. Yeah, how's that for a Jewish kid, like sitting through the Christmas thing? But they did the Christmas thing, and everybody had to bring in gifts, and they paid some schmuck to come in and sit down and be like, ho ho ho, little Billy, here's a gift, you know, and all this shit. And it was like, why is it, if that's Santa, why is he giving the gifts that we brought in? Shut up, you know. And then like all these other things, and it got to the point where finally I was the obnoxious kid where I was like, that's not really Santa. I just saw, look guys, he's leaving it in a car. And we look out the window, and I'm like pointing, and the guy gets in the car and drives away. And they're like, that was Mrs. Bomer banging on the ceiling or whatever. That wasn't really, you know. And I just remember hearing this chorus of crying, he's right! And like all the kids started crying. I ruined Christmas for all of them.
Oh man, Chris, that's a Christmas miracle right there.
Yeah, I had a teacher drag me.
You're a mean,
Oh my god.
you're a mean one.
Mr. Grinch.
Yes.
So a teacher dragged me.
Wait, Chris, this is a live reaction of the teachers.
What have you done?
Actually, they were live this one, like, you know, when you ever have the old lady hawk clutch, like when you're a kid and they grab you by the cheeks and they say, look at me, like and they, you know, that like eagle talon digs into the sides of your face as they're making you look in their face while they scream at you. That's what this old lady did. And she actually gave me a really valuable lesson here, and it's something I carry with me even today, which is, what right do you have to ruin that magic for others?
I have every right. I'm an internet troll.
Well, like it
No power in the verse can stop me.
My man.
but it
I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
It transcends just the Christmas, though. It goes to religion. It goes to others' happiness. Like if somebody's enjoying themselves doing things that you think are freaking stupid, just let them enjoy it. Like that's not your place to be like, dude, that is the gayest, dumbest thing ever. You can be like, have fun. You like My Little Pony bronies? Have at it, buddy. You do.
Well, of course it's the gayest thing ever. I'm as gay as a rainbow. and by the way, that is going to be clipped and used against me. So have fun, guys.
I found my new intro for Nick.
So that's what I love about Christmas, though, is that magic isn't lost by the weight of the world crushing. Like you still have that innocent, pure joy, and we don't see that enough these days. Like I want to see more of that, and it seems to only happen now around Christmas. You know, like,
and even then, honestly, I like the only time I feel real excitement around people is Halloween season.
Yeah.
Because like Halloween season is basically Christmas for adults now.
Yeah.
Which, don't get me wrong, I love spooky season. That is my most wonderful time of year.
Mhm.
Like Halloween, spooky season is for the adults, Christmas is for the kids. I think that's
Mhm.
kind of the meta currently.
Yeah.
And the problem is, I think a lot of people haven't like Christmas is for the kids, and it's like you said, the best joy is like you give you give a kid a gift, and they open it up and like the joy on their
The
face.
N64.
Actually, I think I might still have that clip. Let me see if I have
So
it.
priceless. As a parent. As a
I
parent,
gotta say, Master Sergeant has a fantastic idea. Zack Snyder's G.I. Joe.
wow.
Okay.
By the
Duke,
way,
no.
another channel did a parody of that. They did a video called "How to Be a '90s Gamer," and the dude unboxes a Nintendo 64. And he goes, "Nintendo 64."
But like as a parent, that's like that is the pride and joy, man. Like to get your kid that excited about something, like even though
And
you're
the
not the
best
one that
part
opened it.
is when they run up and hug you, and like like they know that Santa got it, but like some like part of their head knows like to thank the parents.
Yeah.
Well, here's
even
the
if like they
thing.
think Santa gave it to them.
It doesn't even have to be the kids, because my general strategy when I'm shopping for my mom is get anything related to Mr. Rogers.
Oh.
And when I got that for her for the first time, she reacted like that pretty much.
Oh my god!
Jared,
I got a good hug from that one.
Jared, did you know that I think it's like either Philadelphia or Pittsburgh? They have a Mr. Rogers museum which has the original sets and the puppets from Mr. Rogers.
Oh wow,
man!
So if you and your
we need
mother
more
are
Mr.
ever up
Rogers.
in that area, you need to check out that museum.
Well, my bucket list is to go to the Superman Museum in Smallville, Kansas.
Oh,
What about the like? Isn't there a Metropolis that has like the Superman Festival?
Probably.
wow!
That makes sense.
See,
But
bring
yeah,
that to the.
It's just I remember opening my Xbox for the first time. That's getting a little too nostalgia. But the point is, I've had that experience as a 12-year-old
Oh my
kid.
god! Yeah, like that. That's something that we should strive for to evoke in others. Because it's a snowball effect. You know, if you can get that, like the more people that feel that way, the more it cheers up the miserable. You know, it's like a cascading effect where the more miserable people, they'll start bringing other people down around them. So try to get that oh my god excitement, happiness, and you'll find yourself happier just by like contact high.
Because that's the thing about Christmas that I like is that people have this obligation to be nice to each other and spread more positivity, if just for like a day or so. So it's so refreshing.
And the kind of like the goodwill spirit that like people can be like complete a-holes like 11 months out of the year, but like a lot of people like just the spirit of the holidays, they kind of get more charitable, kind of thing. It's a nice thing,
Yeah, I wish I saw more of it. I mean, maybe that's why we get so jaded as we get older, because we see less and less of that, And like when you have kids, it kind of brings back a little bit of that. But a lot of us.
The problem is, a lot of people aren't having kids. But the problem is, even if somebody didn't have kids, they could have still been like the cool aunt or uncle. That's kind of how it was even then. Like for me, I have nephews, but because I have a bad relationship with my family, I don't get to see them. But let me tell you, one of the best feelings in the world. I come for the holidays. They'd see me. They'd say, "Uncle Nick," and they'd run up and hug me.
Tell us stories about the Stone Age.
Oh shit!
That was great.
Die, monster! You don't belong in this world.
So long, Gay Bowser.
I'm sorry. That was so good. That was too good.
I just love that. That was the best. That was the best thing. You
So
set me
long,
up
Gay
so well
Bowser,
for
and then
that.
when it came back, you were actually gone.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
That is a Phoenix Press moment right there. Keely, yeah. Jared, why do you hate
He brought them art on stone tablets. That was the Christmas present.
Oh, no.
He had pet dinosaurs for.
All right, so Jared is having some connection issues, and hopefully once he fixes the cringe problem, he'll be welcome here. So
You're a mean one, Mr. Cringe.
He taught them how to.
Your words are as empty as your soul.
Baseball. A club.
That was great, man.
He taught them how to skin animals for warmth.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't know what's happening. His connection is just cringy. I don't understand it.
Oh, man.
Seriously though, honestly, yeah, I get it. The best part about Christmas for me right now, it's getting to see my niece's face when they open their presents.
Yes.
Yeah.
It sounded so corny to us when we were kids to hear it, but as adults, we totally understand, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I put so much effort into getting gifts for, like, not just my nieces, but for everyone in my family.
Hell yeah.
Because I genuinely want to make people happy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It feels good.
Like Master Sergeant said there. 364 of the days, it's all about Scrooge.
Yeah,
gotta get a break in there.
Yeah, I mean, diving into those money pits does get a little chafy. So
this isn't the viscous fluid; it's a solid material.
Yes, I know the Family Guy bit, and
well, that's just prime.
What you don't realize is, see, Transformers Beast Wars is actually a documentary about Nick's childhood.
Oh my god!
What is your major malfunction, numbnuts?
He was one of.
I don't know what's going on with Jared. Like he is having some problems.
Goddamn Comcast.
Yeah.
Hey, it's me. Prove it. You're a dick. Okay.
That's what Nick told Dinobot.
See, Jared.
This is why Superman works alone.
I could go all day, bro.
Oh man.
I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye.
Here's the thing. Do you know why Superman works alone? Because he's constantly trying to get some time away from Lois Lane.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
He's like, hey, as soon as he works alone, he calls up, hey, Diana, do you want to hang out?
Yeah.
Liar!
Bring Starfire and not Night.
Liar!
Oh man. Yeah.
that was great.
See, Jared. This is Jared right now is like.
You didn't see that coming?
That's what you told to the dinosaurs before the asteroid hit.
Oh,
what?
I had to.
Oh man. I love how Nick gets all the age jokes and I'm about a decade and a half older down.
We do that on ours.
Crap, mega crap.
Oh my god! Just
and
Jared right now. This is basically how he's feeling.
I regret nothing.
I'm the Elon Musk of our group right about now.
Of course. Oh, I thought you were gonna play that clip. I was like, damn.
So Nick, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I've been watching a lot of Casually Comics channel the last little while.
She's great. I love her.
I don't know
She's
why.
awesome.
I've been watching her different videos about Lois Lane, Superman's girlfriend Lois Lane comics, and all I can say is, "Wow, Clark's an asshole."
Well,
They
here's
do
the
not
thing.
paint him in a good light.
I get that all the time from like the Chloe shippers, because they'll be like, "Well, she was a part of a very popular series in the '60s where she was denigrated to being called Superman's girlfriend. Superman and Wonder Woman is just called Superman Wonder Woman."
Yep.
Jared, you should really get Casual Comics on Superman Legacy.
That'd be great.
Wonder Woman Legacy.
That'd be fun. And so we can all unite in our mutual absolute disdain of Lois Lane.
Of course.
Actually, at the
Here's the
DC
funny
park,
thing.
at the DC park, if they had the you know how at the Disney park you can actually take pictures with multiple characters. I would show up, put my arm around Superman, and shoo Lois Lane away.
Nice.
I'd be like, nope, bring in Wonder Woman. Go away.
I think it's kind of interesting though, because one of the videos I was watching, it was from the '40s version of Superman and Lois, and like they make her kind of like, I don't know, interesting in a way that she rarely was in the '70s. Like she was
still isn't interesting.
snappy. She was putting him in his place.
Well, the thing you gotta realize is Lois' original incarnation was based off of Nellie Bly. You know, like the globe-trotting reporter from the early 1900s.
Yeah.
Like
then,
Nellie Bly is literally the blueprint for Lois Lane. In fact, they actually paid homage to that in Smallville, because there was like this thing where like they were trying to find Chloe, and basically they like oh, Sam Lane has been visiting Nellie Bly. Oh, that's Nellie. That's her favorite reporter inspiration. So yeah, they actually paid tribute to that.
Nice.
but the funny thing is that in like the '70s, they take that all away from Lois, and now she's just like a blithering idiot.
What's really weird is like
and very shallow.
When you think of '70s, see, when I think of '70s Lois, I think of Margot Kidder. But Margot Kidder is very much like the '40s Lois. You know what I'm saying?
The movie's Lois is like the more tolerable version. If you look at the comics version, she is abrasive as hell. She hates everyone. She hates Clark Kent. She only wants to be with Superman because he's Superman. She is one of the most shallow comic characters I have ever seen. Which is why I say, go away. Shoo. Be gone with you.
See, the thing is, Lois can be done well. We have ample proof.
Zack Snyder.
Superman and Lois. Smallville. The Lois Clark dynamic can be done right. It just seems like the past, I'd say 20, 30 years, the comic book writers have failed to do so.
Or when, and Tevia, this is a direct broadside against you, when in the Super Sons book, to save John, she donned the Hellbat suit and somehow defeated Darkseid and the Female Furies. I'm like, what? Yeah, exactly, Nick. Thank you. That's my problem with the way they do Lois now. They turn her into other characters to make her interesting. Yeah. Right now, she's the editor of the Daily Planet, and she's literally just Perry White, but with boobs. That's pretty much what she is right now.
Well,
the thing is, they're literally doing the same thing with Mary Jane right now in the comics.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
They are. Well, this is what I would do if I had the license to toward Lois Lane. If DC somehow I could afford to buy that or whatever, I would make a comic book series called like Unsupers or like the Not Supers or whatever, and give you a ground level of the kaijus or the ground level of the
That's
superheroes.
An idea.
So what you mean is
the world's trotter,
So what you want to do is basically the opening sequence of Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, but extend it, because like Lois could be your primary protagonist. You don't make her this bitchy sidekick or this bitchy arm candy or whatever for Superman, who's only banging him because he's Superman. But you have this character that's like she's enthralled by the super, by the metahumans. She wants to know all about it. She's an investigative reporter. And you go from the origins of that, where she starts off where it's like a mystery, where the awakening of the metahumans hasn't started yet, or she's the one that's uncovering them, and she's the one that's
kind of like Monarch
across the world investigating, kind of like the X-Files.
Okay.
But the problem,
I've one suggestion though. So basically, she's working at the Daily Planet, and Clark works there. Like maybe part with the series, Clark starts to work there.
Yep.
And basically, part of it is she doesn't know who Clark
exactly.
is. And basically, eventually, she does find out, but that's like a mid-series revelation.
Yep.
I think that would actually be an interesting book.
And you don't know it as the audience either, because you're experiencing it from her,
They tried to give her own little ground level investigating book, but here is the plot of it. Somehow she becomes aware of DC's multiple reboots.
Oh, God.
And she was trying to investigate like people's conflicting memories, and I'm like, what?
They went meta.
They literally did. And I'm like, all you have to, Chris, that would be a fantastic, like, that was my idea for making Steve Trevor not useless. Give him a book where it's all the soldiers in DC that we all know, and give us a military war book, but in a world with superheroes.
Okay. So the lineup, the three I can think of off the top of my head: Rick Flag, Steve Trevor, Sergeant Rock. And if you don't, by the way, I would probably make like, it can either be the Sergeant Rock or be Sergeant Rock's grandson.
Whichever. I could care less.
Who else would you put on there?
Deathstroke.
Oh, damn! Origin of the villain.
Deathstroke would be an unwilling ally kind of
He's
thing.
just hired to lead the team. He'll do anything he's a mercenary. He'll do anything for money or honor.
Carol, would you put Carol Ferris on the team?
No, I'm not putting a lantern on the team, dude. That defeats the purpose.
No, she's not a lantern. She's not a lantern. She's air support.
But she's a Star Sapphire. That counts as a lantern.
Not in this book. Not in this book.
In my book, it is. It's my book. It's my idea. It's my book. She is.
No, but you could also do not time travel in the sense of the character's time
Flashpoint?
No, but you could do traveling, like, so it's a
Triggered.
series, okay? So you have different time periods, kind of like that series Taken, where they follow generations or whatever. So you start off with the Steve Trevor timeline, which is World War I or whatever, and then you expand. You move forward until eventually you get to present day Lois Lane, who is the final inheritor, basically, of this investigatory metahuman. You know what I mean? Just giving you that reason to give a shit about the character, make the character special but not super. So no girl boss shit. Just like, wow,
oh my
she's
God,
an investigative reporter, but yeah.
Okay, so imagine the Vietnam episode. So basically, you have Sergeant Rock as the General Rock as the commanding officer. You have Rick Flag Sr. and his but he's also working with Corporal Lane.
There you go. No, that's a good, because that could go into the next generation.
I'm glad I got this conversation started.
Yeah,
because I can actually see kind of like the Vietnam era being a great transitionary, because Sergeant Rock is World War II, but you could make it okay, he's a sergeant World War II, but by the time of Vietnam he's a general or whatever. Yeah, that works. Then you can have Rick Flag Sr. And he's so that way Rick Flag Jr. can be born in the 70s or 80s, and then you have Corporal Lane. I think that works.
Yeah.
It could, and here's the thing: these are ideas that it doesn't take a genius to make.
No, this is just us shooting the shit,
Because here's the thing: DC's thing is that they are the gods amongst men, and here's the cool part about this book. It's unique then because you don't have gods. You have regular humans in a world of gods. That's a fantastic story right there.
Yep. Well, it's the Dr. Watson to the Sherlock Holmes. The only reason why Watson exists.
And you know what? I've said the reason why I personally utterly disdain Lois, because what I've read of her, she is annoying as hell. If they wrote a good Lois, like in the movies, say what you want about Zack Snyder, at least in one movie, Lois figured out who Superman was because he makes it pretty obvious.
Yep.
I mean,
if you give me a good version of it, I'll watch it.
To be fair, in most of the comics, doesn't make it obvious. Like, you remember in like Death of Superman when they like brought him out of the rubble and like he was hugging Lois and he's got bigger muscles than Arnold Schwarzenegger.
But she knew at that point.
No, but like I'm just saying in general, like how could you not, like it's like how was like wait
and wait. It gets worse. Superman, Clark Kent mysteriously got a mullet the same time Superman did.
or even worse, like Clark Kent died around the time that Superman did, and he miraculously was found in rubble when Superman returned.
It's worse. Do you know their excuse for that, Nick? When he was under the rubble, he somehow, here's his excuse, I dug my way and found a bunker with a bunch of doomsday supplies.
Yeah, because like Superman must have been under that bunker for, I think, like it's like at least 6 months to a year, like the work or in between.
In comics time, I think so, or something like that. But still, it's like that's a weak excuse. At least in the even in the Death of Superman movie, they did this. In the Snyderverse, it was like a month in between BVS and Justice League, so that's a little believable.
Yeah, but also the thing is, they also have the thing is, Clark was actually, here's this, like, I don't know, because like they didn't really explain how Clark Kent got revived, because he had a full-on funeral in Kansas. So like, how are they going to explain that?
Yeah.
Well, it's up for more creative men to come up with. I'm sure they'll find a way.
Yes. They will.
Well, here's the excuse. I guarantee you, they'll like make it that everyone in Smallville pretty much knew Clark was Superman.
No, I don't like that idea.
Well, because in Man of Steel, he saves people miraculously, and then Superman shows up.
So
we were
I don't know.
all just pretending we didn't know who Superman was.
Yeah.
To, I feel like Clark's little thing.
I feel like Superman and Lois handled it pretty well. Where when he revealed himself to Lana, she's like, it was kind of one of those things where like people might have suspected, but they never connected the dots, But Superman, this is some footage of Clark rolling into the Daily Planet.
Hello there.
and then Jimmy also goes, Mr. Kent, you are a bold one.
Wait, so you're saying the photographer from BVS wasn't Jimmy Olsen?
Yeah, I love how everyone thinks. I'm like, you realize the CIA assumes identities all the time, right?
Yeah, I think they even said, like, I don't know. Zach has gone back and forth about whether or not that's actually Jimmy.
They said they used they used someone else's press credentials, so I'm pretty sure it was Master Sergeant's my boy. I found Lois a pretty pointless character ever since after Superman 2.
Yep.
Well, she was written out of Superman 3. She only had those two scenes bookending it.
I noticed there was one part of Superman 3 that I liked. Wow.
The absence of the character.
The best part is when My Adventures with Superman was coming out and everyone was complaining about how much of a B Lois is. And I was like, I'm among my people, finally!
Sweet validation.
Yes.
God, but
I hate that version of Lois, though. Like,
she is horrible.
She's like, how could you not tell me? We've known each other all of like 2 weeks.
How dare you?
Jimmy's like, yeah, I've known all this time. I was just gonna let you tell me when you were comfortable, Clark. I'm like, my boy! That is my boy!
I remember the Legion of Loises.
Oh God.
That was my personal hell.
Yeah. That is a circle of hell. That's Dante.
I will give the show this. They did give us a really good Jimmy character, so.
Mm-hmm. And he's a ginger too, so let's give him some props.
He's not. No, we're talking about My Adventures with Superman, Nick, where they race bended Jimmy.
Oh.
The ginger is for Superman Legacy.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good at least. But it just goes back to what we were talking about earlier of like people don't know how, like, even when it comes to interpersonal relationships, these people don't know how to write interpersonal because they don't have much experience.
No experience. Yeah.
So when they don't have personal experience, they draw upon other media. Like, oh, I want to write this personal experience. You know, I don't know how to write this kind of thing, so I'm just gonna look. Oh, I want to do it off of this relationship on this TV show. You know, and it's obviously going to be a watered down version of it, even if the original version was good. You know,
well, I have a belief that it's possibly because when you're a sociopath, you can't write human emotions. And like, if you notice, they always try to, and I know it's Nix's thing, I don't care, just ship it. But like, when you got like, oh, Frodo and Sam have to be gay, it's like, you've never had a friendship where like they only equate like close friendship and love with sex because they have no real basis to build it up.
Well, that's just the over
it's projection.
Like,
yep.
Well, that's getting into like the commoditization and the like the normalization of sexual encounters.
Yeah,
like I'm not trying to say like we should all be prudes.
No.
Sex has kind of gotten a little bit like too common.
Yeah,
you know,
but it negates like brotherly love. You know what I mean? Like there are different forms of love out there, and these writers can't seem to think that. Like, oh, they're super close. Like they would take a bullet without hesitation for the person they love. Oh, they must be gay. And it's like that's not how this works.
Like, you have no idea how many times I've encountered this in the JoJo fandom, and I'm like, I hate all of you.
The only pushback I give you is, while there are a bunch of sociopaths in here, statistically, I just don't think it's possible for like the entire writing people or even a majority of these people to be sociopaths.
Have you seen Hollywood?
Yes.
There is not a soul
yes.
among them.
Morons, definitely. Sociopaths, I don't think so, Tim.
Yeah, I don't know.
Have you seen the people who made Avatar: The Last Airbender the movie?
Oh God.
But okay. What I'm saying is, just like sociopaths are actually kind of rare in our society. I just don't think statistically everyone is a sociopath.
3 words. No. 3 words. Wheel of Time.
Okay, but here's the thing.
Look at the stunner. The stunner.
I will concede Wheel of Time was written by sociopaths.
I gotcha.
I think a lot of this can be chalked up to people just kind of following a lead or being told to do something told the right
or not being talented.
Yeah,
lack of talent can be masked as sociopathy or whatever. I think it's kind of closer to like, I think the industry is like 30 to 40% sociopaths, and like the other like 50 to 60 people are just doing what it's told, because like I think a lot of sociopaths are more in producer roles, like they're telling the writers what they want, like what they want to see.
Dude, I've worked with some writers, and my God, there is an elevator shaft deep enough. I wouldn't, want to kick them down. Like,
you do realize I'm a writer?
Yeah. That's the thing is like
Same.
Comic book writers, I've actually found to be a lot like I think it's a Hollywood thing. Like the guys in the video games and the guys in like movies and TV, I would say a good percentage of them, could die in a fire, and I wouldn't shed a tear.
And by the way,
that says a lot about you too.
I just want to remind everyone here, speaking of writers, remember Nick started writing around the time of the Gutenberg press.
Oh no!
I mean, I did place some of the letters for the Gutenberg Bible. That's why.
And actually, what you don't realize, he was the actual one who wrote Hammurabi's tablet.
Oh no! The Rosetta Stone.
Damn.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. You don't realize. So when we were typesetting like Genesis, one of my associates put down Adam and Steve.
Oh,
I caught it right before we were supposed to go to print, and I corrected it to its original Adam and Eve. So you think the stuff is like new? No, it goes back to the dawn of printing press.
And then what I did, what you don't know, is that I traveled back in time and reverted it back to eliminate your correction. There are very rare versions of the Bible that have that.
Did you imagine how messed up? That would be hilarious.
You're the one who caused me to have 3 weeks of like nonstop overtime. I did not see my concubine for a month.
Exactly.
Those books down.
I did that the last time you promoted Wonder Bat on my stream.
Let me at him.
See, that was Nick holding back his saber-toothed tiger back in the day before it died of dysentery.
Yes, we tried to go on the Oregon Trail, and apparently it was a bit of a failure.
Tried to ford that river.
The thing is, I overhunted, and then I didn't hunt for a while, and the meat spoiled, and I fed it to the tiger.
And you know what I did, Nick? Actually, I went back in time to when they were coming up with the ideas for Wheel of Time, and I said, change everything.
Okay, Jared? You're actually kind of borderline Cosby offense, because Robert Jordan is like one of my favorite authors. Yeah, and you're kind of getting a bit.
I was just making a joke, dude.
No, here's the thing. Saying, the books are amazing. What Amazon did to that was akin to vandalism.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
It's almost like what Paramount did to Halo.
Oh, and they're making a season 2 of that.
Yeah. Season 2 comes out in February, and I texted a buddy of mine the picture, and he said, "Oh, F word." Well, Jared, I don't think alcohol, but when he says, "I don't drink alcohol, but when we both watch it, and we should have alcohol near us."
No, that's a bad idea, because you're both are going to pass out from alcohol poisoning within 15 minutes.
And wait, it goes on. He says, "I'm calling it right now." And this is the dude that predicted Master Chiefs from episode 1. He said the Master Chief is going to have sexual relations with an alien and his whole team while Cortana watches. This is the stuff that would be on the show.
Isn't he a corpse now? Like
yeah,
kind of. But you know what's kind of funny? The corpse was more game accurate Master Chief. He didn't talk. He just shot stuff.
So
they had to make it a
by the time
hero.
By the time of season 2, shouldn't that suit kind of start to smell?
Yeah.
What'll likely happen is that it'll take place immediately after season 1, and then they'll immediately reverse it, and then I don't know, because apparently he will be taking off his helmet again. I know that for sure, because they can't help themselves.
Well, that is like the worst idea ever, because it's like, do you want to know how much rotting has gone on?
By the way, watch when Nick and I did Comics Watch on Why It's So Hard to Adapt. I put that helmet on and kept it on for pretty much the whole review to show these stupid writers it's not impossible to get the Master Chief to keep his damn helmet on.
Dude,
Jared did what Paramount will not.
No, they're going to do one of two things with that. They're either going to make Cortana the hero, which they pretty much did in that final that closing scene, because girl boss, or they're going to say that Cortana has the ability to somehow make the Mjolnir armor become like nano machine reparative or whatever, and it's going to revive his body.
What they'll do is they'll actually pull a Marvel and have Cortana use the Chief's body to create the Chief's child.
Oh God, yeah.
They're gonna do a full Marvel.
or
comes out of her butt.
Or
yeah, exactly.
Guys, or hear me out on this. He's just gonna be revived, and they're not going to explain it.
Yeah,
I think
that's the most. Yeah,
that's the most likely. Yeah. No, that's how season 2 will start. He'll be fine. The game is this Master Chief. Yes, he is the Navy.
Yeah, Space Navy.
Well, there's another connotation with what Master Sergeant is bringing in.
So you're saying that Master Chief is in the Navy?
Hey.
Yeah, exactly. He's in the Army. I mean, he's in the Navy. The dudes from Reach are in the Army. There's a lot of
so Master Chief is literally from the gayest branch of the military.
You know what the Army is the fattest branch, apparently.
By the way, I would probably just piss off so many people.
I don't know. I know a few Navy officers, or actually, no, I'm not sure if they were officers. They might have been enlisted.
I like them already.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, well, they're not gay either. One of them was a nuke. He worked on the sub.
Oh, nice. So, those people, I'm like, I don't get how you can actually like work on a. Why did you kick Nick's out?
I wasn't me.
Sure it was. Sure it wasn't.
She doesn't like semen.
What you don't realize is that Nick was around when they invented technology. So,
well, I mean, technology is a very broad definition. If you're saying I was there when they discovered fire, the answer to that is yes.
So you were there when they discovered rocks,
sticks and stones.
Are you saying that that I'm actually Kane?
Yeah. Am I my brother's keeper?
Yes, exactly.
Are you saying that I am the original murderer?
Murderer. He's a
Jared.
The OG.
I've killed once. I can do it again. So choose your words carefully, man.
no.
I have an Aquaman trident.
I'm immortal.
I'm coming for I got an
Easy
Aquaman
here.
truck.
You know what's kind of funny? The Justice League once had to escort Lobo to trial. So you know what they did once? They cut off his head and just carried the head around.
Nice.
Oh.
And even Wonder Woman is like, why didn't we think of this from the very beginning? It's so much less
Jared,
annoying.
Remember, if you kill me, that's just what I've been wanting all along. Either way, I win.
Well, if you start haunting me, I could call them the Ghostbusters, and they'll just put you in the ghost realm.
Jared.
But you know what's kind of funny? Because you're a nerd, I won't even call in the good Ghostbusters. I'll call in the 2016 crew.
Oh God!
no.
No, that's like the perfect exorcism.
So Jared
That's
has
cruel.
committed a cardinal sin. He has invoked the ghost pissers. So Jared, you officially have your first warning.
And I called on the name of all that is Leslie Jones. The power of
Did you see her live? She actually live streamed her watching. Wait, Chris,
you have your first warning.
Chris, did you see Leslie Jones was did?
Well,
they keep Jared. Second warning.
Did you see that person? Did you see that person did a live reaction to the Snyder Cut? It was hilarious.
Who wants to see that?
No, she did that on Twitter, and the thing is, it was actually entertaining because when Superman showed up to fight Steppenwolf, she's like, "Oh, he's about to get," and she basically dropped a bunch of F-bombs.
Oh, are we gonna address this? What Lug is saying right now?
Anyone notice Nick be like Edward Who's Edward Elric?
He Full Metal Alchemist. He's gonna need an arm and two legs.
By Edward, when I saw Edward, I thought they was talking about Shovelface from Twilight.
Oh.
Oh.
I call him that because the Honest trailer called him that. I love how I took a moment of Nick taking great nerd pride, and I took that away from him.
He's the reverse Santa.
I reverse Santa. That would be the type of Santa I am. I take things away.
Come on, tell me what you.
We stand here amidst my achievement, not yours.
So the kids are all crying when they leave your lap at the mall.
Lucas went in a meeting with Dave Filoni.
What?
Yeah, we're getting
we're standing here in the press was my achievement, not yours.
Yeah. And Lucas, when he heard Dave Filoni's plan, he was like,
"Not a great plan."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Dave Filoni.
He's like, wait, no. He goes, we have Ray, and then George Lucas goes, we have Darth Revan. It's like we have a Hulk, we have a Revan.
Yeah.
Liar!
I'm not lying. He has it. You see, Nick, you gotta choose your moments with that clip.
They are gonna destroy that, man. Like I heard the Knights of the Old Republic.
They'll have Bastila be the main character, and they'll have Bastila be like the most important character.
They're gonna try, but I don't think the KOTOR fans are gonna stand for that. They're gonna try and
care about the fans, though.
Yeah, they don't.
Well, they'll certainly care because KOTOR fans are very passionate, and because here's the reason why Revan is so popular. You played as Revan, okay?
Yep.
You were Revan, okay? Basically, imagine if they adapted Twilight, and Edward was the main character instead of Bella, because people had this kind of personal connection to Bella. It's just okay.
Are you?
What the fuck am I doing? I am literally comparing Revan to Bella.
Somehow, I made Nick talk about Twilight on his show.
We broke him.
Is my greatest. That is a Comics League moment, as a matter of fact. All right, Twilight. Nick, let me ask you: do you shine in the sunlight?
Oh, this
Liar! My issue with those movies is when they have werewolves turn into actual wolves.
They are werewolves.
That's not how.
You didn't see that coming?
So,
Harry Potter had a more accurate werewolf.
Hey,
they're shifters.
Hail the lore.
They're more like shapeshifters who can only turn into wolves, and I only know that because basically all the women in my family got really into Twilight, even when I didn't.
Yeah.
I only have seen the first movie.
See, Nick.
Let me explain.
No. I need to say it's Nick first. See, Nick, that's because you have more than 3 brain cells. So.
I only watched it because at the time my at the time girlfriend forced me to watch it. And liar! Emphasize at the time.
Yep.
Liar!
No, my ex did the same thing, dude. I sat through that and I think it damaged our relationship.
The things we do for intimacy.
Yeah.
My condolences.
Yeah, it was so bad.
I haven't seen that. It looks great.
Yeah, it does. I heard it was one of the best movies of the last 5-10 years.
So you're saying that the werewolves in Twilight weren't all that they were barked up to be?
He turns into a German Shepherd.
Oh.
One turns into a Shih Tzu.
A Chihuahua just starts shivering.
Hail.
Hey.
Yes.
That's a good point. They do exactly.
See, Hail. You get this. Yes, Jared, I still have it.
Mm-hmm.
But seriously, Hale deserves that. He gets that. But yeah, like Underworld is so much better. Like, give me Celine and Michael Corvus any day.
They actually made the whole werewolf versus vampire cool, as opposed to Twilight.
Well, the thing is, they made it kind of very intertwined, and they did what all great stories do. They made it a human drama. And like the whole preface of the war is love, it's greed. You know, the whole thing that started the war was human nature, human emotions. It's not like, oh, we're set each other for arbitrary reasons. No, it's a Romeo and Juliet is what started the war. Like that's why I feel like Ride the Lycans is actually a good end to the trilogy. Thank God they didn't make any more movies after that.
Exactly. Thank God. It's almost like thank God they never made Resident Evil movies. I mean live action movies.
So Jared,
thank God for that.
Jared, so before you become a hungry hippo, where can we find you, and what last things you got to say before you
First
kick
off,
off?
I'll do my last thing first. If you guys are interested in a Man of Steel watch party, our good friend Snyder Queen is doing it right now on her channel. So
Jared,
I just wanted to give a shout out.
Before you leave, can you put the link in the private chat?
Sure. And in terms of for me, in about a little bit, we are streaming, and first we're talking about the end of the DC animated movie universe, which with Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. Then we're, for some reason, having a Phoenix Press appreciation stream. I may have to tweak that a little bit. I'm gonna have some fun with this one after this stream. Be prepared, Nick. But and tomorrow we are talking about the movie by Zack Snyder called Legends of the Guardians: The Owls of Ga'Hoole.
It still astounds me that Zack Snyder made a Screecher movie 10 years before I created the character.
Yeah, and then
I am gonna run that Joker into the ground.
Yeah, you are. And then what was the thing? Oh yeah, and then on Monday, Super Wonder on the Super Wonder show I do, Britt and I are going to be analyzing Superman and Wonder Woman like romance merch that goes back to the 1970s.
Ooh.
It got to the point she was sending me so much stuff that we said in the app, instead of doing a 5-hour stream discussing the stuff, let's kind of trim it. She said, "There's so much stuff." Like, wow. And Master Sergeant, no. Wonder Lantern is a better ship than that, but none is more bottom of the barrel than Wonder Bat.
Actually, I ship Bumbleborg.
Bumbleborg.
You know Bumblebee, the character, the superhero.
Okay, I don't know anything.
She's a Titan.
Character.
She's a Titan.
Not a well-known Titan.
She has her moments.
Okay, I remember briefly in an episode of Young Justice, but that's just my point is. But anyway, you know what? Yeah, I gotta go eat. I'm delirious. Great stream, Nick. And remember, tell them the story about the asteroid before it hit Earth.
Oh my God.
You were there, right? With a lawn chair or like a rock version of a lawn chair.
My favorite laser raptor, Bob, died that day. Don't you dare bring that up.
No,
Laser
I know
raptor.
because I tossed
to save me.
No, but Nick, I threw the rock that killed Bob.
Oh.
So Jared is
flash and reverse flash.
Jared knew exactly what he was doing. Yes, Master Sergeant, that's what I was going off of. Oh my god. Fuck that guy. But yeah. So as far as myself for Christmas, getting back to the topic.
All right then.
Yes, I do love the aesthetic, the way the lights, the snow, and yes, the music. Just like the whole atmosphere, like just kind of like walk. I love the idea of just kind of walking in like an old town. You got the Christmas music playing. Just I don't know, kind of getting some nostalgia stuff. But I'll say okay. Let's do a small preview of nostalgia. I'm gonna ask you guys a question. And chat, please respond to this as well. What was the best gift you ever got for Christmas?
Oh.
And no, you can't say Red Ryder Ranger BB gun.
This is a toughie, but the one that I remember being like from recent memories, like my earlier childhood memories are very spotty, but this has got kind of a funny story with it. So woke up one Christmas day. My family had this little tradition that, well, at least my grandmother did when I lived with her, was I'd get a little like personal Christmas tree, a fake tree, set up in my room, and a couple of my Christmas gifts would be sat under there by quote unquote Santa. Well, one year, I think it was about a year or two before she died, actually. Back when Bayonetta came out, at least. I don't remember exactly the time, but anyways, first Bayonetta game came out, and I knew nothing about it. My grandmother put a suspiciously game-shaped package under the tree. And when I opened it, it was Cowboys versus Aliens.
Whoa! No.
That is, and then when he opened the case for Cowboys versus Aliens with Bayonetta in there.
So I ended up going into my grandparents' room. She was with her second husband, not my grandfather, but we'll call him her second husband because he is dead to me due to personal reasons. But anyways, so I went into their room and I was really excited. I was like, Cowboys versus Aliens. I was like, I don't really understand why, but okay. She looked at me, grumbled to herself for a moment, and switched it with the thing she'd gotten her second husband. She goes, there was a mix-up. Where Bayonetta was. And I was like, oh, this is even better.
Was it legitimately a mix-up, or were they just trying to like save face?
No, it was a legitimate mix-up. She did not look happy with herself. I think she might have. I think she just mixed up because the game cases looked way too similar
Yeah.
with like DVD cases. So when they were wrapped up, she kind of just got them mixed up and was like, "Screw it."
See, if it were me and I wanted to be evil, which normally I am anyway, what I would do is I take the Bayonetta, like I'd open it up, take the Bayonetta disc, and put it in the Cowboys and Aliens case, you know, and then like you put in the slipcover, so like you open it up and like it's Cowboys and Aliens. And you see your disappointed face, you'd be like, "Yeah, that's all we got for you. Why don't you go in the next room and watch it?" You know, and like you go there, you open up the case, and like you open up and like you run back in. It's like, "Oh, I hate you, but I love you." That's what I would do. That is something that is very much like that. Like, see, my family has like this obsession with boxes. We like to have like creative wrapping, and like sometimes like okay, so like what like let's say we're getting you a gift card, okay, so we'll put that gift card into an envelope and then put that in a box and then put it in a slightly larger box and then put that into a slightly larger box. And each one we're wrapping, so by the time you got like a box that could hold a cooler, you know. And sometimes you put some weight in it to make it a little more realistic. So the people are just like opening box after box after box. And it's a freaking gift card. I come from a family of assholes. What can I say? Oh, and like my favorite thing, my family always loves to say, "Oh, I got a box." But Chris, would you like to share a link of like present it of your best gift?
Sure. I pop something in the private if that's.
Yeah, I just want you to share it. You know.
All right. Let me.
I know what this is, but I just like. And then while you're doing that, so Harold the Lore says you got a Mistborn book.
Ooh.
You are a man of culture, Harold the Lore, and I respect you. Because I mean, to be fair, I haven't read any of his Mistborn series. I just know him as a guy that finished Wheel of Time, and he did a great job with those last 3 books. I gotta say. All right.
Sweet. Yeah. So this is technically around Christmas, not actually for Christmas, probably Hanukkah, but.
Sega challenges you with the ultimate games that'll blow you
1986.
away. Like
this
Kid
oh dear God,
was a game changer.
Coming soon, Monopoly. Knockout games like Rocky, Gangster Town. Shift into more excitement with the arcade hit Outrun, only on the Sega system. Sega.
I gotta say, it's surprising how good those games look.
Yeah, well, the Sega Master System was actually technically superior to the NES. The only reason why the NES won is because it had better games
and marketing, and first mover advantage, better marketing. Because you got to remember, the NES is based off of hardware from I believe 1983, because that's when the Famicom came out, and so they're probably using hardware from like 82, 81. Because I believe I remember watching a podcast. The NES actually uses a very similar chip to the ColecoVision.
Yeah.
So the NES is actually very similar in specs to the ColecoVision.
Well, the Master System is actually the third revision of the Sega system. The original Sega system was called the Sega SG-1000, and then they had the Mark II, and the Mark III came out around 84, and that's in Japan, and they ended up repackaging the Mark III and called it the Master System when it came to the West. And it's funny because the the SG-1000, I believe, launched on the same day as the Famicom, like in Japan. Like both.
Well, the thing is, the thing with Nintendo is they've always been about cheaper consoles with more like what is it they call it, like depreciated technology with their technology on or whatever. So that's always been their MO.
Mhm.
And like even when they do push the envelope, like for example, the Super Nintendo through the GameCube, they were legitimately trying to push the
Yep.
technological envelope.
Yep.
You know, because like each of those generations, the Super Nintendo was one of like the N64 was the most powerful system. The problem was the cartridges. The GameCube was the second most powerful. I really feel like if they would have used DVDs, they would have like done a lot better. But you know,
Same here.
It's Nintendo. But yeah, that's a topic for another time.
But I'll tell you, man, opening that on that morning, and I was like, "Holy crap, what is this?" Because I had only experienced we had a cheapo knockoff of Atari called the Coleco Gemini, and it played only about 60% of the Atari 2600 games. So you don't know if you came back to the store and bought a bunch of lemons or if it was actually going to play. But they were all crap, and I really wasn't into video games. Like I liked them, but it was like the family console, and I wasn't like a super big fan. But when that Master System landed, man, that was my system. And I got Shinobi, I got Phantasy Star, I got these like huge legendary games that would persist into today. And yeah, it was like I suddenly became, I'm a gamer. Like that's it, you know.
Yeah, Phantasy Star is really I'd say quite the revolutionary game.
Hell yeah. Yeah, look at this. This is competing against the NES.
Yeah, and like the stuff it does.
Yeah, the first person dungeons. Like this is going up against Dragon Warrior.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Here we go.
Yeah, the gold lens. Yeah, like that background is actually, it's not static. Like you can actually, like once they kill this gold lens, you'll be able to actually walk around in it like a modern first person shooter.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you can see the Dragon Quest influences on this game because like that battle screen is very Dragon Quest.
Yep. Okay, we get it. You need to heal. Now move. Damn it, move.
Move, mother
son of a bitch. I'm gonna throw monsters at you now. Okay, so that look at that. Like that,
look at that.
20 years later.
How smooth that is and stuff. Now compare that to what Nintendo was trying to do with graphics at the time.
Like the NES could have never done this.
Nope.
Never. Like yeah, this was very much you know, like this was the Xbox of its generation.
Yeah.
And
that made me a gamer.
Yeah. So I would imagine you were probably like the only person on your block that had a Master System.
I was the only kid in school that had one for a couple of years. No, they're like, what the hell?
Yeah, and that's from what I understand, because like I was born in '87, so like I remember the kind of mid to tail end of the Super Nintendo era, but like once it got into the PlayStation, that's when I really kind of was starting to do my gaming stuff.
Yeah.
So like as far as Christmas memories, I'm gonna go more into this onto the nostalgia stream, but like my best gift was a Sony PlayStation.
Yes.
There's a really great story to it that I'm gonna tell on nostalgia stream because like it's a really good story. But yeah, that was so growing up we had an NES at my parents' house, and then my grandma had Atari 600. So that's what I grew up with. And then in the latter half of the 90s, because I turned 10 in 97, so like that kind of tells you where I am. Because like it was originally bought for me and my sisters, and we did play it a little bit at first, but eventually I became the only one to play it. So I was like the de facto. It was my system. And I played a lot of games on that one. Like this is the age of rentals, so like I played a lot, rental games. That was so much fun. And yeah, that's really where I really developed my taste as a gamer. I'd say is the PlayStation, and then I had a Game Boy as a kid, then a Game Boy Color, then a Game Boy Advance. And so that's kind of where my path as a gamer went. So yeah, PlayStation was really important. And PlayStation is still to this day my favorite game console.
Yeah.
Like, I love a lot of them, but PlayStation and its games are number one, and they always will be.
Yeah. There's just something about that startup sound. You know?
Like, not only that, but like, okay, talk for a second, Chris, if you could.
All right. Yeah, I think our first real console definitely marks one of like that. It's probably going to be our favorite one generally because there's so much like nostalgia and emotion hooked to it. Because I can say I can't because I guess I'm now I'm the Paleolithic one here, but like I come from the generation of everything was the first time you saw it. You know, I remember color TV coming in. I remember computer animation. I remember Atari coming in. I remember like all of these things. And
Are you ready?
Now nothing's new. Yes. And then when the game boots in, right there.
So, and like imagine if you had like a dirty disc, and like it would actually like take a second, like please.
Yeah. Oh. Or if you had a
anxiety.
pirated disc. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Man.
Oh, but I gotta say, there is one startup sound that I will forever be GOAT to me. Like literally.
Is it what I'm thinking of?
Oh.
When you heard that, you know you were in for a good game.
Yes.
Oh.
Do you remember on the GameCube you could actually hold the shoulder buttons and get a different
Oh
sound?
yeah, and it get all squeaky
Yeah.
Get the Japanese one where it's like yo.
Yeah. Yeah.
You press the Z button when you first like turn it on, you get the squeaky version.
Yeah. Squeak, 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 squeak.
My friend at school, actually, when I was like really young, was like, "Oh yeah, you do this, you get a really weird squeaky version of it." I was like, "Bullshit!" And then I tried it, and I was like, "What? Why though?"
Well, I loved having the
wait.
There you go. What about the yo? But yeah, the Sega Master System. I actually, speaking of having a friend tell you something you didn't believe him, but like I had a kid on the bus. He's like, "Yeah, did you know that there's a free built-in game on the Sega Master System?" I'm like, "No, there isn't." It's like, "Yeah, it's called Snail Maze or Snail Race." I'm like, "No, it doesn't exist." Sure enough, I get it home and I do exactly what he says, and bam, there was a free game sitting on the console the whole time.
Yeah, I think this might be the fodder for like a stream of like gaming rumors, gaming urban legends.
Yeah.
Like we talk about Pokemon and the track.
Lara Croft.
Yeah, the new Raider Pet.
Okay, yeah. I think in sometime in January we're doing that. We're doing that stream. That's a good.
Yes.
We're doing that. Yeah, but PlayStation 2. I never really got into it during its time. I kind of like early like I was kind of banned from games from like the early to mid 2000s up until I got kicked out of the house. And then it's fine. And then I got a PlayStation 2, and that was kind of like my reintroduction to video games. And from there, I still got that PS2. It's actually kind of important to me because a friend of mine gave me the money to buy it. Like basically, he got his military disability, and he gave me the money to buy it. And then a year later, he passed away. So it kind of has a little bit of emotional attachment to me. Wow. You know, it's like it was my first game console, of my new collection. It was like the start of a new beginning. So like it has sentimental value, if you will. But yeah, so the PS, it's fine. It's fine. You know, sorry to kind of bring it down. I you know,
hey, that's my job.
Yeah, you and your black pill, whatever. But yeah, I try not to like share too much of my past, kind of trickle it out a little bit. But yeah, so we're kind of approaching the 2-hour mark, and let's just kind of wrap things up. Let's kind of do our usual go around, shill promo, whatever. So Nix, anything you want to shout out, promo? Any final words?
Merry Christmas.
And a Happy New Year.
Not too happy though. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
So that's pretty much everything. So okay. All right. Anything else you want to say?
Nope.
Chris, you're up.
Yeah, dude. So talking with Immortal Rising, I got the idea for my another perk in my Infinitale Chronicles book 2 that's coming out beginning of next year. The perk is basically we're going Among-a Sokan Jumiko no Tyson. Basically the combined books 1 and 2 in a great a black and white manga format. So reading so desu ne. So yeah, we're essentially gonna have the Infinitale Chronicles manga edition volume 1, which
shut up and take my money.
over 160 pages. So and we're
shut up and take my money already. Just in fact, take all of it.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that out. I mean, who knows? Maybe the manga might be a bigger hit than the traditional books.
And you're more than welcome to promote it on this stream. You are a co-host, so you do have that privilege. Ooh. So, anything else you want to say?
Domo arigatou gozaimasu.
Domo arigato, Mr. Robot. Sorry. All right. So, as myself, first off, so friend of the show, Snyder Queen, is currently doing a live watch party for Man of Steel, and now the stream is ending, I highly encourage you guys to go check her out. The link is in the comments. Just go check out Snyder Queen. She's a great friend, and I just wanted to give her some promo. Also, if you can't get enough of little old me, I will be on Comics League Dark at about 10 p.m. EST. Jared was plotting a appreciation stream, so I don't know how much of that is actually going to happen. But hey, it's always a good time when he's around. Not really, but yeah. So anyway, thank you, Nick. Thank you, Jared. Thank you, Chris, for sticking around, putting up with my BS. And all of you guys, I just want you to remember, I can only show you the door. You're the ones that walk through it.